We are a group of ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts.
Good day here in Madrid. We're already underway with Yaka starting on offense, receiving the pole from IFP BULAGWA, a team from Panama and Venezuela. And Rasa is going to shoot it deep for her receiver, and she's got it in the air. This is one first point for the Yaka side. Greeting you from Madrid, me, Christina Obermeier, joined in the booth by Laura Farolfi,
Hi.
Italian superstar. How are you doing today, Laura?
Great. I'm very glad to be here with you. We are starting off with a quite typical look from Rasta, Aline Mondiaux, succeeding at throwing in the deep space to one of her cutters.
Yeah, she definitely is known to work the disc around the whole field. She has throws that can reach anywhere, and definitely utilizing them in the first look here.
One of the finest ends in Europe, in my opinion.
You've had some time playing with her, haven't you, in the Eurostars tour?
Yes, and she joined Shout 3 years ago.
True,
also.
so she's a European champion with Shout,
Yes.
as well as the one European championship she got with her own team this year. So reigning European champion Yaka advancing on defense. Bit of a collision there, pick called.
Yaka setting up a person defense on BULAGWA.
Trejo. Salamanca with the disc in her hand. I think I'm going to say her name quite a lot as she's directing traffic. Disc back into the middle and going to the other side. Many players underneath it, but Le Bon, the only player who comes up with the disc, and Yaka's first chance of a break here, advances, and she's going to go too high, and because trying to get there, but the disc is just too far in front, and that is a get out of jail free card for BULAGWA. And a deep shot advances into the middle of the field, and a huge layout bid just short of the disc, and she was a meter high up there in the sky, wasn't she, Laura?
Yeah. Shoe diving, trying to catch that disc. I think it slipped just by a few centimeters from her hand.
Definitely a good look, but a chance for Yaka to get a second point on the board early.
Yaka setting up horizontally. Pochi look from Shu helping, and a great defense on the handler by Eriksson.
Bit of a miscommunication here, and that is the disc on the goal line for BULAGWA.
Again.
Second layout attempt from Shu, just shy of the disc, and she's gonna call an injury. Landed a bit flat there, and I hope she's gonna be fine, but just needs a short break as she walks off the field. It's gonna be substituted here. We see the replay once again, an easy way to finish it out.
That was unlucky. BULAGWA here with the chance, with a short field. So Yaka again trying to gain an early break in the game.
Rietschoten walking the disc up to their end zone line. Meissl into traffic. Can't quite catch that disc. Too many BULAGWA players watching. And there's going to be a breakout into space. Beautiful goal for the Panamanian team here. That was too easy. They got it back twice on a bit of a lucky chance.
Yeah, we're seeing Yaka a bit struggling with finding each other on the field. And this Pochi look from the team from Panama was a good choice.
Yeah, it was working well. You're completely right. It was a good idea to poach off that first initial cut, especially when you're on the sideline there. It's really hard to get that off, the disc off there, and BULAGWA did the right thing. BULAGWA, not saying the G, I learned that. Did a very good job at poaching that first cut off, and if they do it, if they'll move on like that, it'll definitely be their chance. Although they gave the disc back twice to Yaka, bit of an unnecessary drop maybe, or maybe taken too much opportunity. Shu trying to bail her team out. Shu, a player from Canada, normally plays with Traffic, decided to join that team here.
Yeah, together with Charlotte Eriksson from Switzerland. This morning in the game against Lilliput, we've seen the two of them playing together a lot, throwing to each other. Let's see if this connection, we'll see this connection again.
Mondiaux in the middle, over to Liba. A bit of a poachy look, and Rasa is gonna opt for the scuba over the top. Beautiful shot into the center. Back with the disc now going every other, and she goes for a big hammer into the zone, beautifully collected. What a vision there from Rasta, and it's definitely something she does for her team and showcasing it again and again.
Yeah, with almost no wind, you just know that Aline Mondiaux can throw the disc wherever she wants, and she has like every throw in her portfolio.
She definitely does. It comes from years and years of experience. I heard she started playing Ultimate when she was 14, and now she's got a lot of experience. I might want to say she's played as long as I've lived, maybe. Short of it, maybe a bit, but it's very impressive stuff from her. She's definitely a very important, the most important piece on Yaka, but also some pieces missing. For the Yaka side, Ines Bringel was on the roster initially, not here though. Nanou Lebon, not playing, but coaching.
Paula Bass injured. And obviously their American superstar, Robin
Fanning also did not make the trip over again, although she did come for the European Championship.
Yaka with person defense. We know that BULAGWA very, very fast-paced game, and we are seeing this.
Son is going to launch it deep, just in the end zone angling, and she's got it. Beautiful recognition by Diaz, adapting her cut to the throw from Son that is angling an outside in shot there. Beautiful put.
Yeah, the disc was not easy to read. I agree.
But whatever works. Looks like, although Son is a pickup for this team, she's gotten quite good chemistry with quite a few of the players. Very well done from that BULAGWA side. Seems like there's not a lot that Yaka can do in defense to stop them.
I don't know. I wouldn't try so hard to win the match with the physicality, since Yaka have fewer players on their roster. Maybe I would try to come up with something more, with something tactical to try to stop them down. We know that BULAGWA have 25 players on their roster, Yaka only 13 who are actually playing. And this is the second game of the day. Second day, I don't know. But I'm pretty sure that Aline Mondiaux, after she has secured this offensive hold, will try to think about how to stop them.
And another deep shot that connects easily. What a beautiful throw, waited just enough for the receiver to run under it. It was speeding into the end zone, and as soon as it got to the end zone, it was slowing down, waiting there for a player to run underneath it.
Yeah, the Russian player, Olga Kinina, she has been playing with Yaka for many years, I guess. Now she is known for her speed and also her defensive effort, but she's a very good deep receiver. So, of course, Mondiaux acts toward the disc.
Yes, it was a beautifully set up cut. Defense just a few steps behind, and points are easy here for Yaka.
Quite clean game so far. Each game succeeded at scoring their offensive points. Let's see who is going to be the first to change the course of the game with a break.
Who do you think it will be? Will it be the speedy BULAGWA or the very in sync Yaka?
Well, now Yaka is playing a different look, defensive, and they're stopping them down quite effectively. No, they got a break. Okay, I will say BULAGWA for the first break, but
they will have to hold now.
Yeah.
Disc is in the middle, looking off shoe, ups to go around to the other side of the field, the near side of the field. Trejo to shoe, up the line to Diaz, just in front of the end zone, and this is shoe with a goal. She did not have to lay out this time, just running up the line, leaving everybody else in the dust behind her.
Yeah, I like the defensive look from Yaka. I think that even if they couldn't stop BULAGWA in the end, the number of passes was quite high. For them to score, they had to adapt. They found the space in the end, but it took them some time, and we know that, I mean, the more passes, the more chances for a turnover. And also we've seen a lot of, I wouldn't say a lot, but many turnovers in the BULAGWA's game this morning against Lilliput that they lost at the Universe Point.
So what do you think caused those turnovers from the BULAGWA side? Was it the defense or was it them not being in sync?
Probably both. Probably also because it was the first game for them in the morning, and a few of those turnovers were not forced. Okay, again another wall.
Disc in the hands of Yaka.
I think it's smart though, like they're trying to stop the handlers from playing with the cutters. But I mean, the Yaka's handler are very good at playing it safe, but once again, we see a defensive set that was trying to force exactly this kind of long and high throws to the cutters, which are riskier than easy under passes. So BULAGWA actually with a chance to break now, setting up with a vertical stack that we have seen many times this morning again. So let's see how it's gonna work out.
Yeah, it's an easy structure for BULAGWA since they're a mixture of different pickups from partly Venezuela, Panama, and also from Madrid, I believe, but adding international players for sure. Easy structure for them, and now they're on the verge to get the first break of the game going. But as I say, discs in and out of the hands of BULAGWA, and there's Yaka with a chance to hold their throw. Rasta.
Yeah, BULAGWA managed to break the mark, but unfortunately couldn't find fast enough continuation on the close side. We see Yaka going dump and swing. Gaining a few meters every time.
Rasta in the middle of the field distributing this, but not a lot of pressure on the handlers either. Lucky there is a bit of a miscommunication. The disc is in front of the end zone. Rasta asking for it again. She's looking hammer, I can already see it. Opts not to take it and goes for the around shot to her teammate, and that's a goal. Got a bit lucky there, but Afonso with the reception of the disc, hugging it like a baby to keep it from touching the ground first.
I don't think that the receiver was expecting it, but Mondio, seeing that recognizing that she was completely alone there. And I mean, we know that she can throw that type of disc. And so she just
threw it. She just did it.
She just
definitely. So yeah, well done from Yaka. They got it back in they're holding.
And now they have the chance to prove me wrong and score in the first break of the game. We see
Kati Meissl, an Austrian pickup with the pole. Beautiful pole, a bit short, but hanging for a long time. That's exactly what you want from a pole to set up that fence. Sure, with the distance, she's gonna launch it for Eriksson, and it's gonna fade out. Just a bit of the wrong angle on that disc.
Yeah, too much inside out on that. I'm sure that she was looking for a more
zip or angle.
Yeah, a more outside in type of angle instead of inside out. That was unfortunate. So Yaka with the chance to score.
Rietschoten picking up the disc on the sideline, and they're running the same system again. Eriksson smartly poaching in the lanes, but this high ball is gonna be collected by Yaka. Rietschoten with the disc again, going every other here, and beautiful take for the young Yaka player, and she's gonna watch off the initial cut, and high stall count going over the top, but into the hands of the BULAGWA receiver. Show and Taiho going every other now, jumping a bit. Shu looking end zone, but opting for the dump. Loads of cutting now, just trying to get it to the other side of the field. Beautiful ultimate played here. Grimaldo into the hands of Salamanca for the score.
That combination of trapping and poaching, and then a very, very tight defense on the handler. It's what worked well for BULAGWA now.
They're definitely putting Yaka into a position where they needed to change up their system and stopping the first and second looks. They're doing that very well right now.
I agree. I think that Eriksson knows the Yaka system pretty well. We heard her before the game giving a few suggestions to her teammates on how to stop the Yaka's flow.
They definitely are doing that well. It's working for them, but not well enough since there has not been a break yet.
Yeah.
But we always got more time. Could be their chance now. They're setting up an intense line on defense. BULAGWA. Disc in the hands of Patino. Outside in, pole collected by Mondiaux. We're seeing the same zone here working for BULAGWA. Loads of bodies near the disc, 5 players, that's what I'm counting now, on one horizontal line. Now there are 4 players, is still quite a lot. Mondiaux looking for continuations, but the deep field is very tight, and this is gonna work out. And as I say it, I'm cursing myself quite a lot here, on the commentary side. Beautiful collection there by the Yaka players.
Once again, this Mondiaux-Kinina connection. I mean, Aline Mondiaux is playing perfectly. She has been playing perfectly so far, finding her teammates, finding every type of angle.
There's this thing of throwing players open, and she is so good at that. She's so good at seeing the space and then throwing it there and telling her receiver to run there. Like, kind of like, this is where you should be right now. So I'm making you go there by putting you in the position to actually throw that disc. Catch that disc, of course, she's throwing.
Yeah. We are seeing her staying on the field. Maybe it's because they're trying to secure the first break of the game, knowing that after the turnover, she is going to be there helping them.
All the Yaka players have to pull a double duty, and this is her time to do it now.
Do you think they're rotating?
They're what?
Just rotating?
Rotating, I believe so, yeah.
Oh, I see. I thought it was intentional.
It might have been. Might as well have been confident as intentional, as confidently Terrasone throws that disc into the end zone. I'm saying Terrasone again, because that is a bit of an insider, of course, is Charlotte Terrasson. Actually, when I met her, I thought her actual name was Terrasone because someone started calling her Terrasone.
Apparently.
Apparently.
Davide Mori.
Yeah.
Well, that was an incredible hold for BULAGWA. Like, the stall count never reached 2 or 3, I don't know. And we are recognizing the same speed and way of playing that we have seen this morning against Lilliput. It worked well for them in the first half, but in the second half they turned it over more, and that's why Lilliput managed to win in the end. But I mean, when they start flowing, when they start going, it's very hard for them to stop.
Definitely is. There might be a difference in roster size between Yaka and Lilliput that will make a difference come the second half, but we're very much in this first half now. Mondiaux working every other. Becker now on the near side, going back to the middle. Basta working it with all the Yaka players on the field, but she is definitely the one in charge still. She's gonna put a throw into space, and this is gonna be for another goal here. Becker, this time the Russian player Janina not on the receiving but on the throwing end of that next goal for Yaka.
I'm not sure for how many points I will keep holding this type of defense against Yaka if I were the BULAGWA coach. I mean, they're giving them the chance to play technically with throwing, and they're not challenging them physically. I mean, I think that this game is really interesting because we have a very technical team, like very good at throwing with very safe handlers like Yaka, while on the other side we have a team that is playing more with the speed and with keeping the rhythm high. So probably I will try, if I were the BULAGWA coach, to try to challenge Yaka physically, to see if they could force some mistakes, maybe trying with a very strong matchup against Mondiaux. Oh, that was so unfortunate, and a drop.
A drop pull might just give us the first break of the game. Meissl to take the disc in her hands. Trusted pickup for the Yaka side. She's going to put it over into the middle of the field. Looking for options now. Looking end zone. Or for Meissl, Terrasson with a great defensive effort. They're moving backwards, not seeing a lot coming from the Yaka side now, and Meissl is going to get it on the far side. And she's going to put it up into the end zone. 2 Yaka players underneath it, getting the space for Yaka, and this is the first break, and a lot of patience that we've seen so far from that Yaka team.
Yeah, even if they don't have, they had a short field turnover chance. The Yaka players really had to work hard for that. So hats off to the BULAGWA defense that set up a poach at the beginning, and then they tried with a tight person defense to defend their end zone. So my prediction was wrong. We are seeing Yaka with the first break of the game.
And the score is 7-5 now in favor of Yaka. And if they get another break, if they get the flow going, they're gonna get into half now, get there early as well. And I'm pretty sure that's exactly what they want to be doing. Mondial with a huge pull for the Yaka side. But there's BULAGWA keeping the disc alive, barely off the ground. Back into the middle. Salamanca surveying the disc. Trejo actually, not Salamanca, but loads of pressure from the Yaka side. Trying to find a way through. Shu. Salamanca now. And a disc goes up into the air, just over the fingertips of the Yaka player into the end zone, casually collected by Eriksson with one hand behind her. It's not an easy catch to make, but she's not known for doing the easy stuff, but for the making the hard things look easy. Eriksson.
Yeah, a great catch for the BULAGWA cutter, and then a great continuation.
Yeah, they
just
opened
into space.
They opened up the field beautifully. Kept it a while on that near sideline, not ideal for the zone, but then once they got to the other side, we can see that once again, just working it off the field over this side that is not defended as well.
Oh, that was a great read.
Just over the fingertips and into the hands of Eriksson, who makes sure to catch that disc inside the end zone.
Okay, so it's not halftime.
Not
time.
Yet. It's not yet time for halftime. But if Yaka can close out that point, hold their offense, it will be. But I'm sure at least this line of BULAGWA players has something against it. I have something against that too, because I would love to see a galaxy point.
They will definitely put up a fight.
I agree. They won't go silent into that good half time.
Oh, just a few centimeters.
Beautiful pull, but just out of bounds. Rietschoten to pick up in the middle of the field on the brick mark. Looks like they're setting up a split stack, Yaka, with 3 handlers back. Meissl with the disc in her hand, looking upfield and going inside, getting the disc back again up the line, just making meters and going to the other side of the field, cross the field, and it's flowing and caught. What a pickup by the young addition on the Yaka roster. Babakian Aman.
Babakian?
Babikan. I'm very sorry for this, for the names, but we'll see that replay once again. Look at that beautiful recognition that the disc is flowing. Always catch you these people. Very well done for the Yaka side. Meissl getting a bit lucky. I see what you wanted to do there, but just too many players in space here and able to jump.
Always catch your D.
Always
folks.
catch it. Someone caught it, just not the right side. So this is half time, and we will take a short break, as will the teams, but we will be with you soon, so don't go anywhere.
We are a group of ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge. We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch.
We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Like and subscribe, Ultimate TV, the best in the world.
Become a member and fund our work
to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories and live coverage to the eyes of the Ultimate world and beyond.
The ultimate things in life are free, and we're keeping it that way. Subscribe to keep up with the latest games, tournaments, and community content. Share it with your team and friends, and drop a like to help spread Ultimate to more people. Spread the word, spread the love. Ultimate TV.
Second half action here in this women's round robin pool game. Yaka from France, the reigning European champion, taking on BULAGWA from Panama, Venezuela, and they've got a Canadian pickup and a Swiss pickup. So they're just a very, very good team with a lot of different people combining all their skills, but they gotta go back their break down on Yaka, and they'll try to get that back. Yaka on with their typical defense into the middle of Salamanca, the anchor of that O-line for the BULAGWA side, going every other now, opening up the space. Sedano to show traffic player with the BULAGWA side.
This Canadian pickup is doing loads for her team. We have seen her playing deep, we have seen her playing as an handler, we have seen her playing in the middle of the cup, whatever.
She can do it all. But now there's some other players working it here, and you can see her flying, but just not enough. Bit of a miscommunication maybe there in the beginning.
They were doing nice. So far, they were moving the disc nicely, but that was just an unfortunate turn in the end zone. So Yaka with a chance for a second break. We're seeing Aline Mondio with the disc.
Disc on the far side now, looking for the middle again. There she goes back with the layout defense. That is amazing.
As we were saying during the halftime, in my opinion, the key for the game for BULAGWA is to try to do whatever they can to isolate Mondio and not having her receive a reset pass, and that's what happened. Like, they managed to get the D on her, and I think they should keep focusing because Yaka is missing a lot of very good handlers. Paula Bass is injured, Bringel is not here, so Mondio has to play many points. So I would just stick a very good defender on her and hoping that that is going to be enough to
limit
stop
Yaka.
Yaka. Yeah.
They definitely did that now. What a beautiful layout defense on the BULAGWA side, and then just slowly and patiently working it down the field. I love the way they're sticking to changing the sides of the field. So they're starting at one side and then pushing themselves to get that disc on the break side, and then from there walk to the other side of the field again. This is something that I believe that many teams are not doing enough. They're trying to cramming it in the cram hole, as Safrapaza likes to say, but playing it wide. And we see that replay again. Beautiful take off, definitely a step in front of Mondio there.
Yeah, but that was the offensive hold for BULAGWA, not a break. So let's see if they can score one now. Like,
They're going to have to eventually if they want to
Yeah.
win this game. Definitely a must-win game for both of those teams.
yeah, BULAGWA lost 2 games so far, but we might see a cloud top at the end of this round robin. So, because many teams lost 1 or 2 games, I don't think that any of the team won all the games so far. I don't
I
think
agree.
so.
I don't think there has been a dominant force on that women's side, but that makes it all the more fun for us to watch and for you to watch at home as well. Yaka just in front of the end zone, floaty pass, but well collected by Afonso.
Yeah, also, even if BULAGWA already lost 2 games, I mean, they can still be in the game, in the final, if other teams lose games. So that was amazing, a great put.
That was another
into
great
space.
Brooke. We're not even surprised yet. Mondio seeing a player where nobody else would have put the disc. No defensive pressure on her. No one in sight. Just the Yaka player. So you see the replay now of Afonso putting the disc in the hands of Mondio, and she sees someone running and just jacks it over there. Beautiful collection. Everyone's waiting and looking. Just can't really stop her.
Yeah, Mondio playing a lot of points for her team. I forgot to mention earlier that they are also missing Jeanne de Laval, who is here, but she is not playing. We are seeing her giving instructions to her team.
Rietschoten with the pull for Yaka. Will be fielded by Trejo. Salamanca over to the far side. Shu is gonna launch it deep for Terrason, and she's under it, and it's beautiful and it's perfect. Terrason, smiling face, super happy to have met.
You can tell that these 2 players found each other.
Definitely. They have such great chemistry, one shooting to the other. Both are exceptional players, and I think that's why it works so well, because they know how to cut for someone else, and they know how to put it deep, both of them. And it's just, if you know what the other person can do and wants to do, it's just a perfect match.
Yeah, also recognizing just a few games all the abilities of your teammates. It's very important, and to play with their strength. And since they are both so strong,
As the momentum is equally distributed, I'd say. Normally you could, or yesterday at least, you could see teams have a drop in momentum or a push that would take them one notch above the other, but for now this has been a very clean game for both sides.
yeah, just 1 break so far. That's
Easy as Becker puts it into her teammate, and the defensive player stopped for a second, and there was a foul on the play. Chinina maybe pushing herself off?
I might be wrong, but I think that an uncontested foul on offense, if you're involved in the play, it should be a turnover.
It is actually.
So I think this should be a turnover.
It could be.
Because she was throwing to her.
I agree actually, but as long as the players have their take on the rules, but yes, in the rules it says that an offensive receiving foul is a turnover.
But maybe it didn't come out as a turnover because it happened before she actually cut, so
Yeah, that could also be a possibility. Players have resolved it, and the disc is going the way of BULAGWA. So they got their turn there. Flying in was the BULAGWA player, and there's a big hook.
That was an amazing put with a great vision, amazing execution.
As was this one, and this is getting it to the end zone efficiently. They didn't have to do it quite so much, just a big put up into space and an immediate continuation for the BULAGWA side. And this is a break they very much needed. We can see that one again. Perfect put, and that is just closing it out beautifully on the BULAGWA side. Look at Shu doing everything for that game, for that team in that game.
I'm loving this game so far. It's so clean. The points are so short in duration, right?
Exactly. Escobar with the point there, putting one on the board. And both teams have been clinical so far, and the turns that have come up mostly were forced by the defense. So we're seeing a very high-level game between the two teams, and we're enjoying it. I hope you're enjoying it at home, and if you are, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and like this video. Ring the bell to get notified for all the action we're bringing you this weekend, and make yourselves known in the comments. Tell us you're here, tell us where you're watching from. And if you're extra excited about Ultimate coverage and Ulti TV, then you can just quickly hop onto our Patreon site and maybe leave a coffee's worth of a subscription a month to help us bring you more and better coverage, as Yaka is on their way in offense, and Meissl is going to launch it deep, and it's going to stand there in the end zone so long, and she tried to get there.
I like that BULAGWA has now switched to a person defense, and I think it's a good choice from them, because as I said, they have more players, they are very fast, and so I would try to use these things to an advantage as they did. So they have the chance to score 2 in a row. Oh, that was a great poachy look from the Austrian player.
Salamanca putting the disc into the Silva, but just missing that, and it's this double digit for the double happiness for Meissl, but just quick enough as the defender, Sierra, gets there, gets a piece of that disc, and redeems her team. Eriksson with the pickup, lucky a bit, but good pressure from Monsieur. Lucien to Salamanca, who doesn't have anyone. She's alone, no handlers whatsoever. She's going for the inside shot, and she's a bit frustrated with her team.
She has been calling for a while to her teammates for someone to go to the close side.
At a break side, definitely somewhere she wants to hit, and this is Rasta wanting to hit a perfect undershot, and she gets it, and Meissl keeps her hands in, and she got so lucky there. Player coming out of nowhere. I don't think that was Meissl's intended receiver, but the disc is up in the air anyway, and this is Rasta now putting it into Meissl, looking her off, surveying the field for a better option, and she gets one up the line, and miscommunication, and that's back. Disc is back into the hands of BULAGWA as Eriksson is going deep.
Yeah, she's going deep, but the rest of the team didn't have the strength to accelerate so much.
Take a break and doing the easy things, and that's a good call in my opinion.
I agree.
Bebeto back into the middle. She's gonna put it out of the way to Salamanca, and there's a shot. She opts not to take it, goes around, but the second attempt, I thought she had launched it there in the first one. Eriksson with the disc in her hand.
They're getting a bit static. The cutters are not offering as many options as needed, but the handlers are managing to
put it, and Salamanca is putting it out to the field to Eriksson, but just out of the hands, just a bit too much sauce on that one. There was uncalled for it.
Yeah, we're seeing both teams getting a bit tired on the field, so the number of turnover is increasing. Let's see if with her experience, Mondiaux will help our team secure this offensive point, since now we have one break for each team.
Mondiaux putting it into the hands. The young addition on Yaka. Back into the middle. Getting every other here. Meissl with the disc looking. Thinking better of it this time. She has taken a bit of a risk now this game, but getting it every other. And now she's going to put it into the zone. And there's a layout attempt, but Yaka close out this point. And that was the first multiple turnover point we've seen this game. And Yaka showing their prime as a European champion.
Meissl playing very well this point. She touched almost every other disc for her team. And that was unfortunate for the defender from BULAGWA, because she laid out, but she didn't manage to straighten her arm enough to get a hold of the disc or to even touch it and change its course.
She tried, but sometimes it's already enough to be there, to like fly around, bodies flying, bodies jumping up. Is sometimes already enough to scare a defense, and therefore
but she was not close enough for the scary defense. The receiver was a few meters behind her, so she could read the disc.
Or European champions just aren't as easily rattled.
Yeah.
Mondiaux with a huge pull. Salamanca playing another point. Loads of bodies around that disc. They look really stressed right now, BULAGWA. Over the top and finding many holes through that Yaka defense. Salamanca.
I mean, if you keep the disc moving so fast, you're gonna create space and find holes, right?
Definitely. Something they're doing very well is not keeping the disc in their hands for too long and moving it from one side to the other. Shu in a perfect position, just standing here surveying the field. Puts it back into the middle to Salamanca.
Yeah, it's curious because we've seen a pretty similar defensive look from both teams with these walls, but I think personally it is more effective against a team like BULAGWA that like to play fast in the center, so Yaka are not letting them play into the center, while as for the opposite situation, since Yaka, they are so solid with their handlers, I prefer a more person defense, aggressive type of look against them, and actually BULAGWA managed to get their break after a person defense point.
You're right on there, but BULAGWA will have to get back into that game and get that disc back first. So what do you think the coach will say to the team now? What do you think he'll drop for them?
I think it's about getting the motivation high and believing in it. They're into the game. They just have to become more aggressive, like on defense, and keeping the speed of their offensive holds high as they're doing, I believe. I mean, this is what I would say. They're there. They just have to scare, even if it's not easy as you mentioned, but scare the French team, knowing that they are going to play for every disc with a defender that is really close to them. I would definitely try to trap them here, as they have been doing so far with a poach in front of the disc and a very strong mark on the disc. Let's see if they're gonna do that or if they're gonna try to do something different.
Shoe on the mark. She's probably the one person that's right for a trap like that. Very quick on her feet. Someone who can definitely challenge Madjo, if anyone on that team can.
We've seen the Canadian player Shoe calling for the open side poach, but I don't think it was well positioned.
Not sure, and that throw is out of bounds. Might not be well positioned, and it was a free throw, but a bit overthrown as well.
Yeah, but I mean, if you place a poach, you have to stop what you need to stop, which is the first look.
Yeah, definitely right.
So it was an unforced turn from Yaka. She threw that disc into space very fast. I mean, I think it was not a bad choice, but the execution
was a bit lacking.
Yeah.
Wind is picking up here again. It's in and out, gusting. And now we're seeing quite a few multiple turnover points. Whereas before there was a very clean offensive force, and Shu and Talasan working it up the field, the two of them, and we hear the Yaka defense screaming now for a person-to-person matchup. And this is where normally BULAGWA would be able to play out their strength, but Yaka get a lucky turn.
I want to highlight how Becker, after her mistake on the throw, managed to stop the flow. Like, she really ran trying to stop the BULAGWA team that was going very fast downfield, and
that disc is high and over, and there's going to be a foul in the mix, and she says it was contact on her hip in the moment of catching. There's going to be a bit of a discussion, both players arguing about their point of view, and it's going to be an uncontested foul. Disc will stay with the receiver, and
I agree with this call. I've noticed the bump on the back that she had received from the receiver, from the defender, sorry.
Becker with the disc in her hand in the red zone. Short stoppage here. Shu is going to come in on one. Becker is going to float it out to the Russian pickup, Janina.
She might have made a mistake once, but twice is not going to happen from Becker. She is an experienced player. She is very strong. She is fast, and she has the throws. So don't count on it twice.
One of the most experienced players on Yaka, has been with the team for quite some time.
But she doesn't live in
Noisy-le-Sec, as
I think
do some of the players. I've heard that Yaka has quite an abundance of players from France. Not everyone trains with the team.
Yeah. They also have a lot of international players. But I mean, they are not just pick-up that join the team once. They are recurrent players. So
they're in it to win it.
Yeah.
They even get an American player to pick up with them and come over from the US to play the European Championships with them. So there has to be something appealing about this team for everyone to want to play and want to play again and again. And from the way they're playing, I bet it's a lot of fun to do that with them.
I agree.
Huge pole is launched. BULAGWA is gonna take it to the brick mark again. Searching for a brick. Well, everything they have to do is agree with Yaka where to start. Normally it's about 10 steps into the field, as this field is not quite regulation 100 meters. It's going to be a bit before that, and Terrason with a great initiating cut over to the sideline, back into the middle. Fedrejo, Salamanca looking for a deep cut, is going to go with the safe option, and now they're advancing it up the field. Nimaldo, she's has worked quite a lot, and Salamanca is 3 on the end zone. She's going to put it just out of the reach of her receiver. That was a bit forced, wasn't it?
Yeah, she rushed it. Also because the defender was close, and it's not an easy throw to put. So Yaka with the chance to go up by 3 points.
Meissl is going to put one deep. It's going to float for so long, but she cannot keep that disc in bounds, and it will be walked up all the way up the field. No, they will stay there.
I think the disc flew out of bounds way before from where she...
A bit of a miscommunication there. Or two-handed drop from Salamanca will get the disc back to Yaka. Rietschoten faking, looking for something, and it was a bit of a confusion there. Starkan was very, very high already, and just got it off.
Yeah, I thought I heard the 10, but she didn't call for the stall out. So.
And Terrason is striding into the end zone and collecting it with 2 hands. What a beautiful shot out of shoe.
Yeah, BULAGWA here staying in the game. They're staying within 1. They risk to be within 3, so.
They gave the disc back again, but this time managed to fixate it, to go within 1. And yeah, Yaka tried, but this time could not get it in another break. And that was a beautiful put from Shu. I'm a bit of in love with the way she's playing. She's doing very, very well. And her and Terrason, we've talked about it quite some time. Quite a lot.
It's hard to not to notice, right?
Definitely.
It's hard not to talk about them. And Salamanca, too.
A very, very present player on the field, Salamanca.
Yeah.
Also pulling double and triple duties for the team. But now we see an all new line out there. 7 fresh players. Patino with the pole. And it's going to be a big one. Floating. Collected by Yaka and put into the hands of Mondieu. Becker.
Yaka opening up the field. I really like it. How they are very good at spreading into space and then playing in with isolated player. I mean, there was another player behind Kinina, but apart from there, during the whole action, they really managed to stay wide and use the space at their advantage.
They've got it down how to play well together as a team, opening up space for each other and putting people into space, into the right space, where only they can reach it. You're right, there was a double cut, but the disc was so far out into space that both players could have gotten it easily. See Becker faking once and then going up the line. The only thing I would criticize, but this is very high criticism, is throwing it down the line.
Yeah.
Sticking to that sideline is a bit dangerous, but if it works, it works, and whatever works is fine.
Yeah. I agree, I don't like to play into the sidelines, but when it's the end zone and your receiver or your receivers are free, I think it's okay because you don't have to worry about the continuation, you know, or being trapped on the sideline because you have already scored. So BULAGWA here in need of a hold if they want to stay into the game.
There's a bit of a confusion in the stack. Maybe a pick, as there's not really a stack, but an abundance of player in the middle of the field huddled up.
A crowd.
A crowd. Terrason is going to launch it deep for sure. It's the other way around, and she's going to jump up and get that goal. Meissl was on her shoulder, but shows experienced and knows the American way of playing, so there's not a lot that Meissl could have done in that situation. Beautiful put there by Terrason.
I'm pretty sure that she is used to this kind of pressure. I mean, playing for a Canadian team, I've been playing nationals. That's what you get there, you know? So
we'll see that beautiful put from Terrason again, just angled enough for Shu to get it, and she jumps up early over Meissl, who also had position a bit.
Yeah, I think that Meissl should have tried to jump a little bit earlier to at least get a hand on the disc or scare off the receiver. So I think that the positioning, her position was very good, but the timing was a bit off, and that's why she couldn't get the D.
Probably would have been great positioning and great timing for most defenders, just not that one person who is very experienced and knows a bit of a different level of the game.
Yeah, that's why I say, I mean, if you want to scare off this kind of players, you have to maybe try to anticipate instead of fighting just in the air. Also because the disc wasn't so high, but I mean, that's what it is.
It is what it is, and it's a point for BULAGWA. Yaka advancing. Montiel, as always, with the disc in the middle of the field, putting it up.
I'm sorry if you heard the noise from me. I think that there was a chance for a Pochi D from BULAGWA,
but they get the D anyway.
Yeah.
Shaking off the cold in her hand.
BULAGWA with the chance to even up the game.
Terrason helping out for BULAGWA there, and it's a floaty disc. It's high and easily received. Back to Patino, working with Becker apparently. Beautiful defense, just got in front of their receiver. Janina pushing it back to Mondial, and she's going to launch it for Becker, who's so open, so free, getting an easy point for Yaka, and that is a hold.
Yeah, well, Becker with the D, and then she recognized that she was alone. She saw that, so she didn't wait. I mean, why, you know?
Why
so
wait?
she sprinted downfield knowing that one of her teammates could have thrown that disc to her. That was a very nice look from the French team.
They're doing a very good job of opening up the field. We've already mentioned this, but once again, Becker this time on the receiving end, just running away from all the receivers. And you know, they've played matchup defense for a time now, BULAGWA. I would love them to change it up a bit again. Try maybe the same zone look or another zone look.
Yeah, they have to score first.
Of course, they have to get a point first. That's always handy, since we're rapidly nearing the end. 13-11, the current score in favor of Yaka.
Yeah, maybe even if you don't get, like, a defense might not be the best chance tactically. Sometimes you just have to change, you know, like your opponents have to win against your old playbook, your whatever you've got, not just about one type of defense or one type of offense.
Loads of contact there, player going to ground and arguing. A bit of frustration here.
Yeah, we're seeing Mondio saying that she is sorry and obviously not contesting. I mean, she is not a physical player. I'm pretty sure that
She might have just slipped or couldn't quite stop her body from slamming into the player, which happens. It's incidental contact, but this gives the disc back to Yaka. Mondiaux picking it up, looking for Richon. He's not finding a lot of option. Opts for the scuba. What a beautiful shot. I love this throw.
Yeah, and the wind is picking up a bit, so it was not an easy scuba. Oh.
And Terrason getting up high and early, touching the disc, but only getting it with fingertips, and that score goes to Yaka, and that is a break for Yaka. 14-11 for the French side. See her, Mondiaux with the scuba. I love this.
And then once again, a defender with one finger on the disc. Unfortunately, she couldn't catch it.
Not quite there, but she definitely tried and she was in position. Terrason has been amazing for this BULAGWA side all game. She will be again as she's stepping onto the line. This is a must score point for BULAGWA, as is every other that they will play now, because there is a hard cap at 15, and as soon as Yaka punch that disc in one more time, it will be over in favor of them. So BULAGWA know what is at stake, but they'll definitely not give up without a fight.
I totally agree. It's getting windy. It's getting windy, so let's see how it's gonna impact on the offensive.
Shu. Salamanca in the middle, putting it over to Trejo. Shu, again, surveying, doesn't see any option, she likes downfield. Ups to Trejo. Salamanca. Wildly faking with her hair flowing around her.
Yaka again with this wall, trying to cramming the center of the field and stopping the very fast-paced flow of the team from Panama.
And they're doing that until the hawk goes up to Terrason, the trusted receiver. She jumps up early and jumps up high, and this is an easy goal for BULAGWA. One-handed catch into the receiver.
I probably would keep trying with a zony look, but I think that the team in violet already understood how to play against this wall. Maybe if I were in the Yaka, I would try with a trap or something different to change it, because it's pretty clear that the BULAGWA know that they have to dump, swing, play on the sideline, act deep. They have been doing this for a while, so I think that Yaka maybe after, if they manage to secure this offensive old chance that they have, I would try to change something. Like we were saying, we have to, I think that the teams have to try different things, especially if they can't stop with what they have been trying.
We'll see what
so
they
far.
throw out there.
Yeah.
BULAGWA on defense. Many of the same players stepping onto the line once again, not using the full roster, but this is a very important game for both teams.
So we're seeing the current European champions with a chance to win this game if they keep it cool and clean.
Miscommunication on who to catch the ball, as Mondiaux is not on the line for this point. Surveying and going for a hack that is going to float, and Terrason is in position, and she's going to always come up with it. So calm and collected, keeps her position early and reading the disc perfectly. Salamanca with the disc in her hand now, trying to get a break on for a team. Shu on the far side, surveying the field, definitely looking for Terrason. I know it goes to Salamanca instead. Who's going to now go to Terrason, who's battling Meissl, and just going to put it over to the other side of the field into the end zone with a huge layout, maybe tripping over the line of the end zone, but that was a goal first. I hope she did not hurt herself too bad. Oh, she's receiver hurting now, as we can see that beautiful flow play once again. Salamanca with a big gainer over to Terrason. Good pressure from Meissl there, but opening up the break side and 2 players on it, and she lands awkwardly, and I hope she will be okay.
Yeah, Terrason is sparkling. Like, she is shining. She's playing an amazing ultimate.
She's definitely a diamond for that team. Shining bright, as Rihanna would say it.
Okay, so now the team from Panama and Venezuela is staying into the game. They scored this break. They need 2 more if they want to win. And this time we are seeing Aline Mondiot on the line along with Becker, Kinina.
A very short pull as called from the sidelines. C'est très court. And Blady, and Mondiot is picking up in the middle of the field. Janina.
Once again.
And they're in their red zone now, surveying the field, looking for an option. Mondiot does not get free up the line. Looks for the pass. Janina into the end zone, and that's caught, and that's a win for Yaka. Alfonso with the last goal here. And they're chanting their typical chants, for lack of a better word. Exactly, for lack of a better word. We know where it is, it's here. Something like that, I think is the translation, but that was a showing of Yaka with only 13 players actively on their roster. Look at that beautiful shot again, and great hands, sticky hands from the Yaka player to get that goal and get that point for the win. So thank you very much for tuning in and joining us for this women's game, but all
Alti.tv